students, myself Mahesh Bikut. We have already started the lesson called thermodynamics. In the first class, we have discussed regarding some thermodynamical terms like system, surrounding, process, types of system, and thermodynamical properties. Now in today's class, we are going to discuss some more thermodynamical terms as well as difference between isothermal and adiabatic process and difference between reversible and irreversible process as well as first law of thermodynamics and mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics and work done during these all processes. Okay, let us begin. So thermodynamic terms we have already discussed 5 thermodynamical terms. Now today we are going to discuss 6th one, that is called path function and state function. Path function and another one is state function. So carefully see here, path function. What is path function? Path function means any thermodynamical function which depends on path of the process. State function means any thermodynamical function which will not depends on path, which depends only on initial and final position of this process. So this can be understood by taking PV diagram. Carefully see here. This is pressure versus volume diagram, what we can call. So here this is a one initial point. Here to here, the system wants to move. Let us assume here to here, the system wants to move. It may go like this, it may go like this, it may go like this. Is it? It may go like this also. These all are called path. So the system wants to go from this point to this point. So if the system depends on the path, then it is called path function. Whatever may be the path, either it may go like this or like this. If system only depends on initial and final point, then it is called state function. I hope you understood. If the process depends on initial and final, only initial and final position, that is called state function. If the function depends on path of the function, where the process is going, either in this direction or in this direction or in this direction, depending upon that the system changes means, then it is called path function. Remember, in thermodynamics only 2 path functions are there, that is nothing but heat and work. Heat and work are only 2 path function. Remaining all are state function like pressure, volume, temperature, Gibbs free energy, internal energy, enthalpy, entropy. These all comes under state function itself. That means these all will not depends on the path, only depends on initial and final position of the process. Understood? So this is 6th one, that is nothing but path function and state function. I hope you understood. Now we will switch on to the next one. So in previous class, we have already discussed regarding types of processes. There we have studied isothermal process, isobaric process, isochoric process, and adiabatic process. I have forgotten to tell you guys. So again 3 processes are there. Those are called reversible process, irreversible process, cyclic process. We will discuss that one. Carefully see here guys. reversible process and irreversible process. What is reversible process? Reversible process is a process which is extremely slow, very slow it is happening, extremely slow, and at any instant it can be reversed by applying external force greater than the driving force. Are you getting? Reversible process is a process in which it is extremely slow and it can be reversed. Whatever the reactant you are getting, no, A plus B, you are getting, let us say, C plus D. So the same way, whatever you are getting the reactant to product, no, in the same way, the product also comes to the reactant. Once you got A plus B, you are getting a C plus D, right? Again C plus D are combined to give A plus B. This side also possible. Forward motion, here backward. That is called reversible. Understood? A reversible process is a process which is extremely slow and can be reversed at any instant of time by applying external force greater than the driving force at infinitesimally very small quantity. So this is called reversible process. Then what about irreversible process? Irreversible process is a rapid process, fast, very fast process, where system does not attain the equilibrium. That means the reverse backward reaction is not possible in this case of irreversible. So how to define them? Irreversible process is a process which occurred rapidly, no reversible or backward reaction in case of irreversible process. And here system does not attain equilibrium. Equilibrium means forward reaction and backward reaction. Both are taking place at simultaneously. Here this headed arrow indicates that A plus B combined to give C plus D. And here this headed arrow indicates that C plus D combined to give A plus B. Understood? So this is equilibrium. This is possible only in case of reversible. Remember, all naturally occurring spontaneous processes are irreversible in nature. So what are spontaneous? The processes which occur themselves without any external force. So like a development of tree, like that. Whatever may be the natural occurring processes are there, those all are irreversible. Those cannot be reversed back. The backward reaction is not possible in that case. Okay, now let us discuss what are the difference between these two. What are the differences? First difference is reversible process can attain equilibrium. Attains equilibrium. Equilibrium means forward reaction, backward reaction. Both are taking place simultaneously. Regarding equilibrium, there is a chapter for you. We will discuss in the next chapter. Okay. Then this system attains equilibrium here. Here system does not attains equilibrium. Does not attains equilibrium. First difference. Second one, the reversible process is in containing infinite number of steps. Here not definite steps are there. Infinite steps. Infinite number of steps required here. But in irreversible, only single step or few steps. So that means we can say finite. We can count them. Finite number of steps. Finite number of steps. Second difference. Third one, it require infinite time. No definite time here. Infinite time. No fixed time. Here it is process occur very rapidly, very fastly, right? Here it is very slowly, therefore infinite time. Here this process occur rapidly. Yes, process occur rapidly or finite time you can write. Process occur rapidly. Rapidly means fastly. Okay. So this is third. What about fourth one? Fourth here is work done is maximum in this case. Work done is maximum. But here in case of irreversible process, work done is not maximum. Work done is not maximum. I hope you understood. So these are the difference between reversible and irreversible processes. What is reversible process? Reversible process is a process which is extremely slow and can be reversed at any instant of time by applying external force, which is infinitesimally very small. Remember, reversible, name itself indicates, right? Forward reaction, backward reaction. Both are taking place simultaneously. Hence here there is a attention of equilibrium. Equilibrium means forward reaction, backward reaction. Both are taking place simultaneously and equal amount. Okay, reversible. What about irreversible? Irreversible process is a process which is occurring very fastly and no reversibility. System does not attain equilibrium. No backward reaction in this case. And all naturally occurring spontaneous processes are irreversible in nature. So what are spontaneous processes? Spontaneous processes are the processes which can occur themselves without any external pressure, any external work. They will develop themselves. Those are called spontaneous. All naturally occurring processes are irreversible in nature. Okay, it require infinite number of steps. It require only single or few steps. Therefore, it is finite number of steps. Here, time required is very more because this process is very slow. Therefore, infinite time. Here, time required very less because it is a fast reaction. Last one, work done is maximum in this case. Work done is not maximum in the irreversible process. I hope you understood. So, in process, how many types are there? Isothermal process, isobaric process, isochoric process, adiabatic process. 4 processes. Again add this one. 5th one, reversible process. 6th one, irreversible process. Now last another process is there that is called a cyclic process. What is that cyclic process means? Carefully see here, guys. Cyclic process. Cyclic process means, you know already PV diagram, pressure versus volume diagram. So here this is an initial point, this is a final point. The system moves like this up to final point, again it returns back to the initial point. So here this is called a cycle, is it? So wherever the system starts to move, again it attains the same position. If such a process is there, then that is called cyclic process. Then how to define? Cyclic process is a process during which system undergo a number of changes. Is it changing? System undergo number of changes, again returns to the same position. Again come back to the same initial position. Such a processes are called cyclic processes. Such a processes are called cyclic process. I hope you understood. This is 7th process. Now we have discussed regarding thermodynamic terms. Again 2 remaining, that is called work and heat. What is work? Work means work and heat. Both are none other same. Only difference is work is energy transfer by means of temperature difference. So if temperature is changing, then only we can say work is done. Energy transfer due to temperature difference, that is called work. What about heat? Heat is energy transfer by means other than temperature. Sorry, I have said this on reverse manner. Heat is nothing but heat is a energy transfer by means of temperature difference. What about work? Work is a energy transfer by means other than temperature difference. Are you getting? That is called what? Work and heat. Only definitions are there for your syllabus. So here completes what? Thermodynamic terms. Thermodynamic terms are over now. Now we are going to discuss internal energy, thermodynamic laws, mathematical expression and application. Okay, let us start now. Before going to that, you must know in previous class we have already discussed regarding what we have discussed: isothermal process and adiabatic process. Isothermal process and adiabatic process. We should know what are the difference between those two. What is that? Isothermal process and here it is adiabatic process. Okay, what are the difference between these two? You know already, isothermal process is a process where temperature remains constant. Change in temperature is zero here. Adiabatic process is a process so in which there is a heat is constant. So change in heat is zero here. Where in case of adiabatic process. So can you quote a difference now? What are the difference between these two? Here temperature is constant. Temperature is constant. Here temperature is not constant. Temperature is changing. Here temperature is changing. Temperature is change. Next, here internal energy does not change. Internal energy, I will write IE. Internal energy, what is internal energy? We will discuss in the later stage. Internal energy does not changes. Here change in internal energy. Change in internal energy. Okay, so here heat is transferred between system and surrounding. Heat is transferred between system and surrounding. System and surrounding. Heat is transferred between system and surrounding. Here heat does not transfer between system and surrounding. Heat does not transfer between system and surrounding. So in previous class we have discussed it already. Here what is constant? PV is constant here. Why? Because you know PV is equal to nRT. N is constant, R is constant, T is also constant, because for isothermal process temperature is constant. Therefore PV is equal to constant. Here PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. Gamma is constant for any gas. PV raised to gamma is constant. So these are the four differences between isothermal process and adiabatic process. What are the differences? This is temperature is constant, temperature is not constant, it is changing. Internal energy does not change. Internal energy change during the process. Heat is transferred between system and surrounding. Heat will not transfer, does not transfer between system and surrounding. PV is constant, PV raised to gamma is constant. These are the four differences between isothermal process and adiabatic process. I hope you understood. So this one is regarding thermodynamic terms. Here thermodynamic terms ends. Now we will discuss regarding internal energy. What is internal energy? What exactly it is? What is the definition? What are the characteristics of internal energy? Then we will discuss thermodynamical law. Okay, let us move on. What is internal energy? Internal energy is denoted by capital U. Internal energy is the total energy possessed by the system. Total energy possessed by the system due to its N, Cc and Ts. What is N, Cc, Ts? N is nature, Cc means chemical composition, Ts means thermodynamical state. What is internal energy? Internal energy is a total energy possessed by the system due to its nature, due to its chemical composition, and due to its what? Third one, thermodynamical state. So exactly what this internal energy is? Internal energy always equal to, U is always equal to, it may be what is that? Rotational energy, Re, plus vibrational energy, plus translational energy, plus electronic energy, plus bond energy, plus intermolecular force of attraction energy, plus so on. That means it will never ends. Small energies inside the molecule, whatever you are getting now, those all comes under internal energy. That means internal energy may be equal to rotational energy. What is rotational energy? You can take a molecule, O2 molecule, you know already, O2. O2 means the molecule looks like this. So if you take one axis here, this O2 molecule can rotate like this. This is a bond between, this one is one O, this one is one O, you are getting double bond here. This molecule can rotate like this. And that is called rotational energy. What is vibrational energy? This small, if you are having O2 molecule, it can vibrate like this. That is called vibrational energy. What is translation energy? This molecule can move like this. Is it? So this is called translation energy. Rotation, vibration, translation. Are you getting? Due to the motion, we are getting these three types of energies. Again, electronic energy. Whatever the number of electrons present in this molecule, due to that, whatever energy you are getting the molecule, no, that is called electronic energy. Bond energy. So the energy between these two, these two are, let us take this and one oxygen is there, this and one oxygen is there, two bonds are there. So whatever the bond energy is there inside this bond, that is called bond energy. Next, intermolecular force of attraction. In this molecule, there are several atoms are there. Those atoms are having intermolecular attraction, that energy. Like that, so on. That means it never ends. That means we cannot calculate internal energy directly. Internal energy cannot be determined, but change in internal energy can be determined. We will not get the exact value for U, but we can get du or del U. That means change in internal energy can be determined, but internal energy cannot be determined. Why internal energy cannot be determined? Because internal energy is composed of all these. It is not possible to calculate all these at a simultaneous time. Are you getting? So therefore, internal energy cannot be determined, but change in internal energy can be determined. How change in internal energy can be determined? You know, let us say a system having only O2 only. The O2 molecule is having internal energy initially U1, finally U2. Then what about change in internal energy? Del U is equal to final internal energy minus initial internal energy. फाइनल कितना था, उसको इनिशियल में कितना था ना, उसको फाइनल में माइनस कर दो तो क्या मिलेगा हमको क्या मिलेगा? चेंज इन इंटरनल एनर्जी मिलेगा. सो इफ यू माइनस टेक अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन फाइनल इंटरनल एनर्जी एंड इनिशियल इंटरनल एनर्जी, वी आर गेटिंग चेंज इन इंटरनल एनर्जी. देयरफॉर internal energy cannot be determined, but change in internal energy can be determined. And here the internal energy depends on final and initial only, right? It depends on final and initial position. Therefore, internal energy is a state function. In earlier we have discussed what is state function and path function. If the system depends only on the initial and final position of the process, then it is called state function. If it depends on path, then it is called path function. So internal energy depends on initial and final position only. Therefore, this is a state function. This is a state function. And internal energy depends on mass. How much mass is present inside that molecule. Therefore, this is extensive property. You know already in previous class we have discussed intensive property and extensive property. In that, intensive property means the property which is independent of mass. That means which will not depend on mass. And what about extensive? Extensive property is a property which depends on mass. Here, internal energy depends on how much mass it is. Because if more number of molecules are there, more number of vibrational translation energies are there, more is the internal energy. That means the internal energy depends on mass, therefore it is extensive property. Internal energy depends on initial and final position, therefore it is a state function. Okay, by looking at all these observations, what conclude in your mind regarding internal energy? So we can conclude 5 or 6 points for internal energy. First one is, what is that? Internal energy, that is called U, right? Internal energy is a extensive property. Which property? Extensive property. What is extensive property, guys? Extensive property is a one which depends on mass. Internal energy also depends on mass, which is extensive. Second point, internal energy U is a state function. Which function? State. Again, what is state function, guys? State function means the function which depends only on initial and final position of the process, of the system. Understood? So this is second point. What about third point? For an isothermal process. For an isothermal process, isothermal process means, you know already, delta T is 0. Because isothermal process is a process where temperature is constant, delta T is 0. We have discussed it in the previous class. So for isothermal process, delta T is 0. Therefore, change in internal energy, del U is also 0. Remember this. For isothermal process, delta T is 0 as well as change in internal energy also 0. And remember, for a cyclic process means we have discussed it already. System undergoes number of changes. Again it comes to the initial position only. That means internal energy depends on initial and final position. In cyclic system, both initial and final positions are same. Therefore, for a cyclic system, change in internal energy is what? Change in internal energy is 0. Because in cyclic process, initial and final position both are same. U1 minus U2 we are getting, both are same means U1 minus U1 or U2 minus U2. We are getting 0 itself. Therefore, del U is 0 for cyclic process. Del U is 0 for isothermal process. Remember these two. Then for adiabatic process, internal energy increases if system work is done on the system. Work is done on the system. And internal energy decreases if work is done by the system. Work is done by the system. What is meaning of this? In adiabatic process means in constant heat. You know already. Internal energy increases if work is done on the system. And internal energy decreases if work is done by the system. What is the meaning of this one means? You know already, I will give an example. Whenever you lift some material with some weight, you are getting some pain in your hand. That indicates what? In your hand, there is a loss of energy. That is called work is done by the system. So whenever we are doing some work, we are utilizing our energy into work. That means our internal energy is less, decreases. If work is done by the system. In some case, you whenever you are sick, at that time there is a what we can call it as a saline that is injected to your blood, right? At that time, by externally the energy is injected to your body. At that time, work is done on the system. Sorry, work is done on the system. So at such a times, what happens is internal energy increases. That only I told here. Internal energy increases if work is done on the system, just like a saline. And internal energy decreases if work is done by the system, just like you are lifting weight. Your internal energy decreasing. That is nothing but internal energy decreases. Understood? This is next point. I hope you understood regarding this one. And last point is, if heat is absorbed by the system, heat is absorbed by the system, internal energy increases. And if heat is released or evolved by the system, internal energy decreases. This is also obvious. Whenever heat is given to the system or absorbed by the system, its internal energy increases. Because whenever temperature increases inside any molecule, the number of atoms present in molecule will starts vibrating. If vibration energy is more, we are getting internal energy also more. When system absorbs heat. Therefore, when heat is absorbed by the system, internal energy increases. And when heat is given by the system or released by the system, or heat is evolved by the system, heat is given to surrounding. At that time, some of the energy lost by the internal energy, right? Therefore, when heat is given by the system or evolved by the system, internal energy decreases. When heat is absorbed by the system, internal energy increases. So these are some points you have to remember regarding internal energy. I hope you understood. If you have any doubts regarding internal energy, you can comment below. So internal energy means an energy possessed by the system due to its nature, chemical composition, NCCTS. N for nature, Cc for chemical composition, Ts for thermodynamical state. And internal energy may be equal to rotational energy, vibrational energy, translational energy, electronic energy, bonding energy, intermolecular force of attraction energy, so on, like that. Understood? So these are some points you have to remember regarding internal energy. I hope you understood. Now we will switch on to the thermodynamical first law. That is called first law of thermodynamics. You have already studied in 10th SSLC. That is called law of conservation of energy also. Okay. First law of thermodynamics. Before going to the first law of thermodynamics, you must know sign conventions. What are sign conventions? Sign conventions means when we are using positive and when we are using negative. It regards with heat. Heat means it is denoted by Q. Heat is absorbed by the system. If Q means heat. Heat is absorbed by the system, then take always it is positive. Heat is absorbed means it is positive. Heat is evolved. Evolved means given to the surrounding. Here absorbed means taken from the surrounding. Evolved means given to the surrounding. So when heat is evolved by the system, it is negative. We will denote as a negative. Next one, work. W means work. Work is done on the system. Work is done on the system. Then we are taking as a positive. Okay. Then work is done by the system. Work is done by the system. Then we are taking it as a negative. Heat absorbed, positive. Heat evolved, negative. Work done on the system, positive. work done by the system, negative. These are 4 sign conventions you should know. Once you understood this sign convention, you can easily understand the problematic part as well as thermodynamical first law. Okay, we will switch on to the thermodynamical first law. First law of thermodynamics. So already you have studied in the SSLC, that is called law of conservation of energy also. First law of thermodynamical states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can transfer from one form to another. So energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can transfer from one form to another. This is called first law of thermodynamics. You can quote another way. The energy of the isolated system remains constant, or energy of the universe always remains constant. These all are the statement for first law of thermodynamics. What is that? Energy can neither be created. Yes. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Nor be destroyed. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can transfer from one form to another. One form to another. It can transfer from one form to another. It is also called a law of conservation of energy. I hope you understood. This is statement of law of conservation of energy. Now we will study mathematical expression. What exactly the mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics? That is called mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. Mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. Okay, to derive that one mathematical expression, you must know, you have already studied regarding internal energy. Let us assume that some system is there having internal energy U1. Okay, system has internal energy U1. Okay, so system has an internal energy U1 now. How to increase the internal energy? Only 2 methods are there. One is give the heat to that system. If you supply some heat to that system, its internal energy increases. Or do the work on the system. Work on the system, internal energy increases. Only 2 methods are there, right? So first method, what we do? We supply, yes, supply Q joule of, joule is unit for heat. Okay, Q, heat is Q. Q joule of heat is, apply Q joule of heat on system. We have assumed that system has an internal energy U1. Now we have applied Q amount of heat on that system. Now what is internal energy? You know already, whenever we apply the heat, internal energy increases. So initially it is U1. Now it is, what is internal energy? Now internal energy will be U1 plus Q. Q amount of heat is given. Understood? Now what we do? We do W amount of work on that system. Same system. Now W amount of work done on the system. W amount of work done on the system. Now what about internal energy? Earlier it is U1. Now it is U1 plus Q. Now we did some work also. Now what is internal energy? Internal energy is, now therefore internal energy will be U1 plus Q plus what we added there again, W. Understood? So you know already. Now finally its an internal energy would be taken as a U2, final internal energy. So what is that final internal energy is U1 plus Q plus W. Take U1 this side. Whenever U1 comes this side, it is plus. Whenever it comes this side, it becomes minus Q plus W. What is U2 minus U1? U2 is final internal energy. U1 is initial internal energy. So U2 minus U1 is called del U. That is called a change in internal energy. What we are left with? Q plus W. This is called mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics. What is del U here? Change in internal energy. What is Q here? Q is heat absorbed by the system. What is W? W is work done on the system. Del U is change in internal energy. Change in internal energy. What is Q? Q is heat absorbed by the system. Heat absorbed by the system. Now we will discuss application of first law of thermodynamics. So what are the application? Where it is used? So in application part, first law of thermodynamics can be used in to calculate several work done. First one, case 1 or first one you can write, both are same. For a isothermal process, for isothermal process, you know, for isothermal process what happens? Delta T is 0 for isothermal process. If delta T is 0, remember, if change in temperature is 0, change in internal energy also 0. That means del U also equal to 0. You know already what is first law of thermodynamics tells? Del U is equal to Q plus W. If del U is 0, what you are getting? 0 is equal to Q plus W. This implies Q place here only, take W this side. It becomes minus. Q is equal to minus W we are getting. This indicates that Q means heat absorbed by the system. W means work done. If minus sign indicates what? We have studied in earlier time, sign convention. Whenever W is minus, when work done by the system. What this meaning? Amount of heat absorbed by the system is equal to work done by the system. Minus means work done by the system. Understood? This is case 1 for isothermal process. Now case 2 for adiabatic process. For adiabatic process. You know already, for adiabatic process, Q, del Q or Q is 0. Q is constant there. So del Q is 0. At that time what? Del U is equal to, you put Q is 0 here. What you are getting? Del U is equal to W. So here, change in internal energy is equal to amount of work done, positive sign is there, on the system. Change in internal energy is equal to amount of work done on the system. This is the meaning of this. Understood? Third one, case 3. Case 3. Here, no work is done. No work is done. That means W is 0. When W is 0, put here W is equal to 0 in first law of thermodynamics. What are you getting? Del U is equal to Q are getting. Del U is equal to Q. What it indicates? Change in internal energy is equal to amount of heat absorbed by the system. Q means amount of heat absorbed by the system. Del U means change in internal energy. Change in internal energy is equal to amount of heat absorbed by the system. These are the 3 applications of first law of thermodynamics. I hope you understood regarding this class. In the next coming class, we are going to discuss work done in isothermal process, in adiabatic process, reversible process and irreversible process, as well as entropy, enthalpy and all. Okay, and some numerical problems on first law of thermodynamics. If you have any doubt